expect to go live tonight. I didn't think I would be going live. I didn't plan on it anytime soon because I didn't intend to talk about any astrology because I think I covered in my videos pretty well. Um, but I just wanted to go live to share a couple of things. I was gonna do funny story today. What happened? Oh, it was a catastrophe. I got home from work. I was gonna do a podcast episode for the Real Me podcast. I'm not cursing in videos because I don't curse in videos, which I'll talk about here as a makeup for that episode of what I wanted to address with that. Because I don't want to do two videos. And then I had an intuition in me that said, check your channel. There was something, I can't remember what it was, that prompted me to do that. I went on YouTube, and immediately when I clicked on to the bookmark that I had on my channel, I saw that I saw the subscribe button as if you were another channel, that you weren't subscribed to it. And I saw the sign in button. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I clicked that. And then as soon as I did, maybe a couple other buttons, and there was a message saying that your channel has been um, uh, uh, reported or flagged or whatever. Something having to do with spam, whatever. And I don't think that putting out this piece of content will cause that to happen again. But that happened. It was the AI that did it, and the AI, well, it's playing all kinds of tricks. Playing all kinds of tricks. It is really, it's in the algorithm. It's been probably messing with my views. My videos have been getting barely any views. And not only that, but just the mistakes that it makes. And Mercury is retrograde. So that's the other thing. Mercury is retrograde. So things like this can happen. Mistakes like this are more likely to occur during a Mercury retrograde. I think it's just so opportune that Mercury went retrograde and this happened just a day later. Hi, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're new, I hope that you consider subscribing. I am back now. I was gone for like 3 hours of the day from probably 2:30 today to up to 8:30, 8:45 this evening. Because my channel was taken down and it's back up now. Um, you know, I am not going to make too many changes going forward. I am just going to be more mindful of what I post. Um, Obviously not, you know, offending anyone or offending any creator on YouTube or anything of that nature. um, and if I ever say anything against anyone, it's done in such a way which is deliberate and thoughtful and not me going off about the person. I think that if you listen to my communication, you can easily hear that. Um, and so, yeah. So, I really, as soon as I found out, I was like, this is over. This is over. Because for the past 3 years, plus a little bit of 2022, I was in the pits. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was feeling a lot of guilt and regret. I deleted many, many things in my life, many, many videos. And what happened was, uh, that was all gone. So I started my first channel. I am good. Thank you for asking. Better now. Better than I was, that's for darn sure, previously. And started my original channel the end of 2021. I made my first official astrology update December 1st of 2021 on the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. It was the first official astrology video I ever made on YouTube. I had my channel going for uh, 2 years, 2022 and 2023, and then I promoted my channel. That ended up going south. 2024. When I didn't know what I was doing, and I was clicking that, and all of a sudden they blew up, and then I had a huge bunch of money that had to be paid off with that, and so for the first 7 months of 2024, I wasn't posting anything, and then I came back on a new channel, started that, continued up until now, and then today, my luck deceived me, and I had a very, very negative experience today. And I just thought I'd come on a live stream and just talk about it. I was worried because it was going to take probably a couple of days to get my channel back. I wanted to post, I wanted to update and give astrology forecasts and astrology podcasts and things like that. And then beforehand this was happening, I was thinking about the insecurity of whether the audio in my voice recording would show up, whether the audio would go out in some parts of it. So I was worried about that, but then I didn't expect it. I was like, oh no, and I was, it all just came crashing down for me today. And I was like, if I don't get my channel back, what is this going on here? Well, thank you for standing up for me. I appreciate that, because I don't like that said in my comments. Well, thank you for that. I really am not very much in my ego at all right now. I do have faith in God. I pray to God that it would go, that would find, and when I would get my channel back, and so I put everything in this channel, my heart and soul, into the content that I produce for since February this year, really, and to just have it gone, to have it hacked from your life, although it wasn't hacked, it could have been much worse had it been hacked. That's awful. And I've done the 2-step verification already, so that's well taken care of. Hopefully, I will not get hacked. That's my worst nightmare. But thank goodness that this has happened. I've got my channel back. And I was thinking, well, I'll just post new things on Spotify. I'll post new I'll post my Real Me podcast on Spotify. I'll start things on Spotify. And I was talking to my mom like how I would start um start um my Real Me podcast on Spotify and start posting on Spotify and have the following grow up over there. And then a year's time passes and I can get my channel back and giving astrology readings and this and that. But I really, my attachment to this channel is so great. And I think that if you go into my community page, I think there's a post in there. My mom was actually the one who posted that, saying that I'm gone and that I'll be back. Uh, you can go in there and check that out if you so wish. And I have no idea when I would be coming back. And then I had a conversation with a family member on the phone, and then lo and behold, I got my channel back. So, um, you know, and going forward, I do not want to burn bridges with anyone online, with any one creator. I don't want to speak against anyone in a way that would offend or hurt them because I've just had this feeling like I've said things and they have offended others. Like I've said things and they've hurt other people that uh, that I know of, and and so I don't want to do that. I want to be authentic, and to be authentic is to be kind and to be soulful. I want to be the most real and raw, authentic version of who I am, which means I'm not, in my ego, and I'm not, taking others down. I have no intention of taking others down just for my own power game. Um, and I don't want to burn any bridges with anyone, and I want to hold connections and maintain connections with the people that I know and that I know of in my life. I think that is very, very important. I do not want to sacrifice my authentic thing. And my last episode of the Real Me podcast was about having a friendship and and uh, and whether or not you would speak, um, whether or not you would speak your truth online about what was going on in that friendship. Just across the boundary of the friendship that you feel it doesn't it's not right to say that, or the friendship's holding you back from the relationship is holding you back from speaking your truth, sharing your voice, using your voice, and um, an aspect of my voice was taken away from me, and I have a voice, and I will not let it go. Um, you know, God, my higher power said, it's not time. It's not right for you to lose your channel. You are meant to keep your channel. So the universe answered to my prayers, and I got my channel back. Wow, this has been a trying day, and I was so worried because I had things to record tomorrow. I'm going to be discussing the Mars Uranus conjunction coming up July 4th on my Cosmic Sky podcast. The collective video, the 12 sign video, is coming up 2 days from now. I'll be discussing that. Uh, I am just so glad to be here. um, um, my nightmare. Well, that kind of was a nightmare for me a little bit. Um, and okay, so yeah, I wonder if there's any comments. That's good. Yes, I get you back. Yes, I am back, and I'm here to stay for the long term. And maybe sometime I'll create another podcast on Spotify. Actually, the idea came into my mind, and sometime I may get around to that. Although I just don't like doing that because I just like to keep the personal stuff off Spotify. I just think that with their content rules and restrictions, I do not feel like Spotify is the appropriate place to put the Real Me podcast content. I think it's better for the astrology content, it's better for the more formal content. That's what I feel is right. That it feels right to do that, and so I made them separate podcasts. As soon as I put the podcast, in the personal podcast that I did back in February about self-absorption in my uh, Fastest of Google podcast, which it was that title at the time. I I it didn't feel right, and I got rid of it off of YouTube, and then I put it back on there, and I left it on there, and then I attached it to the Real Me podcast when I did that around the end of February. So, I did that, and now I have my Real Me podcast, and I plan to delve back into the interests that I was really into, beginning of January, mid-January. When I was in the hospital, which was a very, very trying tribulation of my life, I really, really spent a lot of time watching cooking shows and history documentaries. That's what got me through. If I didn't have my computer, my phone to listen to music and this and that, I would not have got through. It was such a dire situation. It lasted for 3 weeks, and it felt like it was never going to end. It felt hopeless, and I was at an even more depressed place than I probably was today. This was short lasting, and that lasted a long time, a very, very long time, and it felt hopeless to me. And that got me through that experience. That really, really got me through that very, very dark time in my life. Um, I have it together. I have my emotions together. I have everything together. I'm not crying. I mean, I could be very, very reacting to some of these comments that I'm seeing, but I'm just not feeling it right now because, wow, um, this is not the year that I get taken off of YouTube. This is not the year for that. This year has been going so well for me with a lot of things. This is my lucky break. I've been feeling so good this year. I mean, well, some insecurities and some hiccups and some minor things, but overall, it's been a really, really good year so far. And what was I saying about the hospital earlier? I think I can't remember what I was alluding to there. I can't remember what tangent I got off with there. But anyway, I am really, really glad to be here. I am thankful to be here. Thank you, YouTube, for reading and really, really considering the appeal that was sent. I appreciate you allowing me to come back on and share my creative, authentic expression. It really, really means a lot, and I, really say that from the bottom of my heart. So, what I want to do in this channel is I think that this has given me more motivation to create a like minded community on this channel. Um, I want to create a large community over time that will support me, that will have my back, that will be very, very internet friends, internet family. I want to create a community such as Pam Gregory's community. I want to create like this a channel that I follow who she actually got hacked and she came back. In the astrology channel and all the big astrology channels. I want those followers who are really into spirituality and astrology and are on a spiritual path and this and that to come over to my channel because I have a lot of things going on in my channel. Thank goodness it only lasted some hours of the day. You didn't miss me. Would have probably found a difference if I didn't post tomorrow. Something would have happened, and yeah, I was really, really concerned. But I surrendered and I calmed myself down, and the universe responded in the right way. Um, the best way would only be the way for the highest good because I don't deserve to go down. I do not deserve to go down. I've been through so much stuff in my life to have to go down on a channel. No, no, no. So, um, uh, hello. I'm seeing a lot of comments in this live stream, which is very, very good. I hope that some of these comments are my subscribers. um, I get the feeling like a lot of these comments are just people that are not even subscribed to me, but I hope that some of you are subscribed to me watching this. And I want to come on and do live streams and do videos and be speaking to my community, be speaking to my followers, the ones who get me, the ones who understand me, the ones who have my back, the ones who really like what I have to do, and I want to build a like-minded community. And if you just found me watching this live stream, whenever you are watching this, could be 2 weeks in the future, could be a year into the future, whenever. But thank you for watching. I'm glad that you found me. Um, It is my mission to create this like minded community and to inspire others to empower themselves and be authentic to who they want to be and love themselves and accept themselves and really really live from a spiritual soul centered place. That's what I really really want, and I want to build that community on YouTube, and I just feel so strongly about that. um so yeah. And then going right along with that, I was gonna do a whole video on why I don't curse in videos. Well, now I'm gonna say kind of the same things, but I'm taking that kind of in a different tone, I guess you could say, where I just follow someone. I know someone personally, and he curses in his videos, just personality and the way that he does it. I don't like it. I'm turned off by it. And, I was at work today and I heard someone cursing very, very loudly. And so that just brought up to mind, like, I don't like this person. And I feel personally, and I don't want to sound arrogant by any means, but I do feel like I am better enough not to curse, better enough not to use that kind of language in really, really destructive, unmindful ways. And, um, you know, I I don't want to curse my videos. It doesn't feel right for me. And I was feeling really, really passionate about that. And then all of a sudden this happened. So then that flew out the window and that didn't become as important. Um, yeah. I have to read through Spotify's policy guidelines and see because I do not know about putting the Real Me podcast on Spotify. Um, Um, I've never done it yet, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not planning to, but you never know. So, Um, and then some other updates. I plan to create a logo for my podcast. I plan to create a logo for my Cosmic Sky podcast that is uniquely my own logo, not someone else's image. Um, and then putting that on my channel banner as soon as I do that, to be able to resize the image in a way where it can fit on the channel banner. I have to find out how I'm going to do that because I've tried and it hasn't worked out, but I want to brand myself. I want to make my own personal brand with what I do with the Cosmic Sky podcast as my main podcast of astrology. And, my mom was really inspiring, very, comforting during this period of the day, which was really pretty hopeless. So that storm only lasted for a couple of hours and then it went out. The tornado has played its course, it has moved on, and now I am back. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. And I was worried that people would miss me and no one would see that post. I don't know if anyone saw that post and responded and did anything. But but anyway, I just wanted to come on here and say that, just sort of come back and start afresh tomorrow. Um, you know, new again. So anyway, that's all I have for now. That's all I have for tonight. I'm going to call it quits. It is getting a little bit late now, so call it quits. You will look forward to seeing me again tomorrow for the Uranus Mars conjunct Uranus transit going on July 4th, fresh and new tomorrow with a new podcast episode, just as I did today. And yeah, so today is the end of June. July is a new month. I'm starting over tomorrow in July, and I look forward to continue sharing my astrological insights with you, sharing my astrology knowledge with you, and empowering you through astrology, and continuing to ride the waves and move together, and to continue to share and inspire and do all of this together. So, um, you know, I, love you all, my followers. I really, really, um, you know, you, um, uh, I don't want to go too far because I don't want to bend my beliefs in this, but yeah, I really appreciate my followers. I do. And Jupiter's in Leo now, so I'm not going to be really over concerned with the YouTube algorithm and the validation, needing validation for my videos, needing validation for my content, and how many views it's getting, needing the validation to get a certain number of views. Um, uh, I will just share, and I know my worth, even though my videos barely get any views at all. Um, I feel like I'm on another timeline than my video getting new views. I feel like I'm at 280, you know, 5 subscribers, 4 subscribers, and I feel like in a mental state I'm over 1,000 by now. So, anyway, and I produce content as if I had over 1,000 followers. So I want to continue to produce content the way that I want to, the way that's true for me, and I'm really being who I am. Um, and I am unique, and everyone is going to be their unique selves, and everyone's going to be different. And I am the way that I am, and I'm not trying to be anyone weird or arrogant or strange or too, hyper or whatever. I'm just being me. I'm just being who I am. So, uh, what you see is what you get. Okay. Okay, so anyway, I just thought I'd hop on here. I just felt so compelled to come on and share this. And I'm gonna get off now. Um, and I'll see you tomorrow. I know that the insecurity of whether my channel is gonna be here is gonna probably surface Pluto's retrograde, so that'll probably be coming up in my consciousness to have to deal with. Most likely, I can already feel it coming up. But anyway, I'm so glad to be here. I just wanted to say this. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.